Hi and welcome to my channel. Okay, so let's start designing the models. This is a store site. We will start with the products. So we will go with the model project, add the class, and we will call it product by default. So it creates a class product. Then what that does, it will mean it would only be accessible from within this project. Okay, so this project, which is not good actually. So what we need to do is to make it as public class. Okay, so let's start public. So next important part is we need to define an integer. Okay, product ID. So entity framework will use that to determine as being the key. Okay, so it does by looking at the first part and then look its ID. So this class is called product. You can see the product ID and know that this would be the key. So you do not have to set it that way. You can use what is called decorate and set a key, and then that will tell in the entity framework that is what you want it to be. But if call it product ID anyway, we do not need to necessarily do that. So now let's create the description. Let us create somewhere to hold our image URL. And finally, the price. By default, when it creates this field within the database, when you see string, it is going to create a non-bar char max. And that would mean that there will be no limit to how much information you can put in there. Now in some cases that might what you want, if it's a long description for example, but sometimes we might want to limit it to how many characters you can have. So to do that, we need to decorate it with a max length string or settings. Now before we can do that, we need to tell the project how to do this. So if you go to the reference, then here you can see that we don't have any framework assemblies found in this machine. So what we'll do is to get it from the Nooked package, right? So let's close this and then let's go again to our model project. So let's go to manage NuGet package. Alright. So it's loading. It will now display the packages. So we will be looking for the data annotation. Okay, so let's browse and search for the data annotation. So system component model annotation. So this is what we need. Need to install this one. Okay, so now we close this, also close this, and then we go to the model. So now we can type the max length and 255. Okay, so we only really need to use that two strings. When you have things like decimals or integers, they have their own built-in length as part of the type. We do not need to expound that, so once that's done, we can save that out and close it. And then let us just create an order item. Again, add class, then we'll name it as order item. Okay, so let's add. Again, we will make this public. Okay. And then we add the ID. So public ID, integer order ID, order item ID. And have a product ID. So that's integer product ID. So this will allow us to link product by individual product. Let us have a quantity. So here, let's type it. Quantity. So that will be integer. Quantity. And then the price. So you see here, I'm using the shortcut key for now. Okay, let's save it. Then close that. The next thing we are going to create is an order. Again, so add class. Order. And add so again we'll make this public, then order ID, and the date, order date, so here you can see that I'm typing the prompt and then hit the tab, so it will automatically create a shortcut for us. So my collection, order item, and that is why I create the order item before I create the order class. So save that up, and finally let's create a customer. Okay, so let's save it and close this part. Again, we need to add a class here for the customer. Add, make this public, Okay, then we add the customer properties. Okay. So while typing this, you see that I'm using some shortcuts on the later part. So I'll be also creating that tutorial here in my channel, so watch out for that. So that will cover the Visual Studio shortcuts, so to make your coding time much more easier. Address. So define the city, and then the zip code. And in reality, this could have more, but in our lesson, we have it nice and simple for now. Okay, save it. That's all for now, guys. If you have a question, comments, or anything you want me to discuss, please comment it below. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.